People can get insights very often when they can get all the other clutter going on out of your brain. The trick with a lot of this stuff is to really stop your left brain, as they're calling it, from interfering with your right brain activity. Don't logic it out of existence just because it doesn't seem logical doesn't necessarily mean it's not happening. So if you can quiet your brain, and I realize that's easier said than done for many, especially with the way life is these days, where everything happens all the time, all at once, and there's so many distractions: television, radio, music, people yakking, and everything. If you can take time to yourself and really try and tune that out, I think you will find a lot of insights come in, and the next trick is to actually trust them. Uh, that was the bit that took me a lot of doing. Um, Drove me nuts, actually. The fact that I didn't know why this was happening or why this was a thing. And being the analytical type that I am, that just drove me nuts, as I say, because I still don't really know totally why it happens or how it happens. I know just that it does, and I have learnt over the time to trust it. And that was very difficult for me. But I have found that if I trust and go by intuition and so on, that most of the time, probably all the time actually, it is the right answer. Even if the intuition doesn't seem to make sense at the time, or if you're making a financial deal or any of that sort of thing, and even though it looks wonderful and it's, looks like a no-brainer, if you've got that feeling in the pit of your stomach, I often describe it as the same feeling you used to get when you were sent to the headmaster's office at school, in the sort of solar plexus just below your rib cage. Usually, if you've got that kind of feeling coming up there, that is your intuition telling you not to engage with it or do things. The We'll get further into this, but as far as I can see, this is your guides, your higher self, all of that stuff, all trying to actually get your attention. But as I've said, there's so much rubbish going on lately that well, has been for many years, I suppose. But there's so much rubbish going on that you get distracted and you don't listen to your intuition or your higher self, or whatever you want to call this. Some people will call it God, some people will call it the universe, the void, all sorts of different names for it. But it's whatever you want to call it, whatever your concept of it is, listen to it, because 99 times out of 100 I've found that it actually makes sense if you go by what it's trying to tell you rather than what your left brain tries to tell you. Your left brain's very good at analysis and that sort of thing, but it's not very good at taking notice of intuition. So try that. Try sitting with yourself. Some people might call it meditating. You might not want to go that far quite yet, but just sitting with yourself and deciding not to interact with all the things that are going around in your head. I forgot to get the shopping, I need to get the car serviced, whatever the issue is. You need to put that aside and let that be. It'll still be there when you finish, but actually just zoning out. And the way I've described it is every thought is like leaves floating down a river. You can see them going by, but it's up to you whether you grab them or not, or just let them flow by. They'll turn up again, don't worry. But it's not worth it for the now. Just let your brain freewheel. So many people are so scared of the silence and so scared of letting that happen that they never do it. They go indoors, they turn the radio on, not to listen to the radio, just to have a background noise, a distraction going on. Or they turn the television on but don't even watch it, just have, again, for the noise. But if you can actually sit with yourself in silence, you can find that a lot of insights come through. And then, as I say, the next trick is to trust them. Um, very difficult to do for many, but give it a try. Just see what comes to your mind, and try acting on some of them. I think you may find that they work to your benefit. I have this personal thing where I ask my guides when things are going wrong, I just say, assistance, please. Other people want to pray, other people got a whole thing they say. Mine's simple, it's just assistance, please. They need to be asked and they will do their best to help. And I have pretty much always found that the answer may not be the answer you were expecting to have, but it could be, or is very often, the right answer. Just don't judge it. It might just be that they draw your attention to a particular billboard or a particular thing in a newspaper or on the television, and then it suddenly computes. But that's the best way they can do it. They can't come up and grab you by the collar and say, pay attention. They've got to do their best to try and give you a, I don't know, give you a clue. But you've got to be good at picking up the clues and not have any preconceived ideas as to what the answer was. Because if you're short of money and say, well, the answer is winning the lottery, sorry, it doesn't happen that way. But they may head you or point you at an opportunity that may sort your issue now, or something will come up within your notice that you then pay attention to. I know it sounds a little airy-fairy, but that's the best way I can put it. But I have found that this has been unfailingly correct for me. But as I keep saying, you have to learn to trust it. And that will be the biggest challenge for many, especially those who are completely freaked out by what's happening to them now. And their relatives will think they are nuts. Very often. Sometimes you'll get one, but you'll find that it's a batty Auntie Flossie that you've always thought was a kind of off a trolley, has noticed what's going on, and you suddenly realise that Auntie Flossie wasn't quite as batty as you thought she was, because suddenly what she seems to be saying seems to make sense. Now, not everybody's got a batty Auntie Flossie, but I hope you take my point, that some of these things need to be taken at face value and not prejudged. Anyhow, I hope you can get something from this, and I will try my best to go through various subjects. I don't really want to sit here and do a data dump, because number one, you will have lost the will to live by the time I get to the end of it, and number two, you won't remember any of it, and it won't be much use to you. So let's leave it where it is, and we'll see how we can go through various subjects, and I'll do my best to do it in bite-sized chunks. So hopefully I will see you on the next one, and thank you for watching.